And we're going live, and we are live. Welcome, Wukarians, to the, what are we doing here? We're doing a members briefing. We're doing a little get-together here on a Friday. It's currently the 26th of September, 5 p.m. here in Park City, Utah. Whatever time it is where you are, welcome. Want to do a little bit of a week in review. We've just had, in my assessment, a record-breaking week. Now, we've only been in existence for a month and a half or something, so it's easy to break record after record, but I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like this. And I just wanted to start by saying I am so honored to work with so many awesome people that I've met, some of which I've just met for the first time today, and you're going to be hearing from them. They're already sales directors, right? I mean, it's going like boom, 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 like popcorn. And of course, we've got a pretty big deal on the table with what Matt announced. I'll cover that here in a minute. But the purpose of this is just to get everybody up to speed on what's going on. There will be a chat roll, or there is a chat roll if you're seeing this live. 5 p.m. Down below the whatever time it is where you are, welcome. We've got a broadcast page open on Gerald. Gerald, go ahead and mute your broadcast page there. There you go. So.
Gerald gets to put $5 in the jar.
That's the $5 in the integrity can.
All right, all
right. Your $5 to each of us. But we've got people at this point engaging this opportunity like I've never seen. I was just talking to a guy who has been around home businesses and online marketing and all this stuff for a while. Never got traction in anything. He's this close to being a sales director. This close. So and he will be one by tonight. So it's really cool. And for any of our brand new members who aren't even sure about what the hell is a sales director, that is basically about halfway through the comp plan. Okay, which myself accomplished that in like 2 weeks. You actually get a little award on your website from the company. Maybe I can pull that up here and show you what that looks like. But on your back office, you get a little award if you do it in less than, I think, 4 months or something. But we're breaking every record right now with Wukar. Every record that has ever existed in the corporation whatsoever. Blowing people away. So, look, I'm just gushing enthusiasm, and I could just tell you it's raw, it's real. I've got phones ringing off the hook for the last 6 weeks since we started this. We've brought in over $2 million in business, and we haven't even published a proper sales funnel yet. So guys, now's the time. I think I'm stating the obvious. So on that note, let me just review what this is all about. If you're brand new, okay, because I know there's a few questions have come up, and once again, there was a chat roll down below. That's what I was thinking when somebody introduced a little noise into the call. But there is a chat roll down below. We will do like some Q&A and stuff as we go, and if you got some comments, feel free to leave them if you're viewing live. So what's this all about in terms of this big push to sales director, which is the rank we're talking about here, before November 1st. Well, let me share my screen. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. I added this to my desktop when they produced the little graphic. Can you guys see this? What's on my screen right now?
Now we can. Yep.
Yeah, you see
that?
We got it. So, Millionaires Club, right? So this is what's going on within the organization. Matt Trainer, who is sort of the godfather, right? Here's the guy who came up with the idea to do this whole Wukar movement. And if you're brand new and you don't even know what Wukar means yet, it clearly right there, wake up, kick ass, repeat. But he announced live on stage at the international summit that we all just got back from in Dubai. Here we are. Here we are just a few weeks into this deal, and we're all showing up in Dubai. There's like 90 of us there. But he announced live on stage in front of the entire company that anyone who reaches the rank of sales director or higher, of course, before November 1st, he is not taking money out of his business until you've made $1 million. Okay, so that's the Millionaires Club, and there's terms and conditions, and you'll get more details on that. But that's what's on the table for everybody right now. You know, here's somebody who, frankly, and I don't think that this is a private issue, so I'll speak openly about it. Here's a guy who makes $100,000, $200,000 a week just doing like SEO work, and he's never embraced network marketing before. Matt just realized, I think it was last week, Tarlise was telling me, he just realized that he earns money on this thing called the downline. I mean, so that's how disconnected he's been from this whole world and this whole business model. now that he's getting some understanding about the magnitude of this. He sees 50 millionaires within, and I'll give you an arbitrary time, let's say 6 months, right? That's no big deal here. And again, I'm gonna corroborate that statement, because what I've been seeing, and I'm gonna come back on screen here, so now you know what the Millionaires Club is if you're brand new. Come back on screen. Here I is. Okay, so what I'm seeing personally, and I do have experience in home-based business, network marketing. I'm personally not a fan of like traditional MLM or anything like that either. Okay, I haven't made a lot of money in that area. Most of my success in the direct selling world has been in high-ticket info products, that sort of a thing. But what I've never seen until now is the duplication like we're seeing here. I know duplication is like the holy grail. So anyone who's familiar with like a network marketing type environment, you want people to be able to produce value for the group, right? Here's sales volume and that sort of a leverage, okay, that then you make a little percentage on, and that's how it's supposed to work, okay? So duplication is the holy grail, and yet to me it's been more like a mythical creature that I've been chasing for years, and I've never found it until now. I'm 6 weeks in, and I can show you back offices and stuff here in a little bit if we have time, but we don't want to run a filibuster here. We want to keep this brief. But I'm seeing 10 times duplication. So I've personally enrolled about 60 people, and I've got over 600 in my group already, most of which I've never met before. At least one of them you're going to meet here on the line today, who also went sales director in 2 weeks. So if you're watching this live right now, September 26th, we got lots of time to help people get to sales director before November 1st. Okay, so that is the mission right now. Get everyone to sales director before November 1st. That being said, we're going to talk about, or we're going to talk with a few people who have done it, because everybody here and I'm sure we're going to have a few more people join us here in a minute, or I suspect we might, because I invited a few others. Every single person here has already achieved it. So we're going to talk a little bit about what they did. You know, what you guys do to achieve it. Let's go right with Kelly first. Kelly, who also hosted our first webinar for the broad public last night. Which, Kelly, awesome job. Thanks for being here. Let's bring you out here. You're a sales director. What got you here? Like, why are you here with Wukar? How'd you have success so far, and maybe a little bit of background for the benefit of our new members?
All right. Well, I appreciate that. And I said some of this yesterday, but honestly, I was kind of at a crossroads when I was introduced to Dubli and the Wukar movement, if you will. And I apologize. I use my hands to talk. So if someone tied my hands down, I'd like be, oh. So I use my hands a lot. But anyway, so when I was introduced to it, I was at kind of a crossroads. And crossroads really was that I had been marketing online since 2007. I'd owned Subway sandwich franchises. I owned a business company, sold that to actually get involved in online marketing. So I've had a kind of an array of different business experience, and so knock on wood, I've been successful over the years. And so when I got online, I knew absolutely nothing about online marketing, but I worked extremely hard to learn the strategies. But one thing I discovered real quickly was it's not easy. And in essence, it took tons and tons of time, a lot of money. And so there was this disconnect from the fact that I was teaching people or telling them, look, you can do what I've done. In reality, at the back of my mind saying, but if I really told them the truth, how much time it would take for them to learn and do and to enjoy even a small amount of success like I had been able to do, that it would take, they would probably just walk away and say, you know, forget it. And so so in essence, what happened was I kind of made a decision. I'm going to kind of step away from online marketing and go help a buddy, a friend of mine, kind of start a brick and mortar business that he had started to create. I was going to do some of the marketing, and then lo and behold, I get with this one Skype message, and I open it up, and guess who's on there? You're on there, John, and Christian and Matt. And all of a sudden, you know, the Dubli thing, you know, kind of excited me, but I thought, you know what, it doesn't matter how good the product is. If I can't get other people to duplicate what I've been able to do and what I could do because, gee, quote, I've got a list, then I'm not interested. And when all of a sudden they started bringing what Matt's bringing to the table, I couldn't sleep. I'm like, this is crazy. I watched it, a couple more times. I finally got to bed about 3 o'clock, got up a couple hours later, and I just dug into, Matt Trainer's background. And when I was done, I was sold. I said, this literally, I believe, will be the biggest thing that I've ever done, but it's not about me. The exciting thing is I can honestly say without reservation to people, look, this is it. Just trust me one more time. And it's, it's so far, even when we don't even have, quote, the rotators in place, I'm already seeing people who have never made a dime start to enjoy success. And why? Because they're passionate about it. I think, and so for those of you who are listening to this right now and watching this, you may be sitting there waiting for these rotators to get into place. You are missing a huge opportunity to get in place people that you care about and people who may have said no to you. I can guarantee you all of us on here, or one of the reasons we're on here is because we could go to people who may have not made anything, or even to Mom, Dad, and Uncle Bob, and say, look, just trust me and hop in this thing with us, and we're able to do that. So don't sit back and go, I can't do it, I don't have a list. Most of us are basically picking up the phone. I haven't sit and blasted my list. I basically picked up the phone, made connections. They feel my excitement, my enthusiasm, and these are some people who have done 3, 4, 5 different things, and I'm saying, well, just trust me this one more time, and the results have been phenomenal. So anybody within the sound of my voice, we're all sitting here because what? We made SD within a couple of weeks, and I don't think we've done anything special by any stretch of the imagination. And all we did is see an opportunity and, gee, get 3, help 3, get 3, and voila, we're at SD. And so just do that one at a time, and you're going to see some amazing things happen, and pretty soon you're going to be going, man, I'm an online marketing icon. And that's a bunch of baloney. We're all sitting here just trying to help one another, and there's some great synergy, and literally I believe, just as Matt Trainer believes, that this will be over in 2 to 3 years. And so let's hop on it and get after it. And we'll all be basking in the sun in the Grand Cayman. So thanks, John.
Awesome stuff. You mentioned this will all be over in 2 to 3 years. And when you say that, it sounds a little weird sometimes when people are, especially if they're familiar with the home business world, where they're expected to be sort of a lifer, the 5 to 10 year plan or whatever that means. And here, with what we've got with Wukar, okay, which is actually the main feature, right? I mean, we could talk about Dubli, we could talk about, here's the product and the way that the business model is set up, and the value of the company, here's the stock, here's the partner programs. There's so much happening at the corporate level, and yet the main feature here seems to be and is Wukar, right? So think about this. In any network marketing type of company, what is the one thing that they quite often lack? Well, marketing, right? So I've said it before, and I don't know, maybe this offends some people, but ask most network marketers to define the word marketing, and they'll look at you like a deer in headlights. Marketing is the main thing that these kind of companies lack. So here you see a corporation like Dubli hook up with this marketing arm, okay, called Wukar, which is now also a corporation, and we're breaking every record because we're actual marketers, right? We can define the word, and there's a whole variety of talent coming together. So what happens? Let's say we slam this to death. It's 2 years from now. There's millions of customers in North America and beyond. There's already millions of customers throughout the world. Dubli is already the largest online cashback e-commerce company on the planet. But let's say that we go ahead and saturate the market, right? Well, great. Now what does this Wukar community, what do we want to point our attention to now, right? I mean, I guess we can go, drink from the coconut on the Grand Cayman. Here's your house, right? Thanks for helping out. but I kind of like my work, right? I mean, think about it. We're all here. In the name of the team, Wukar, wake up, kick ass, repeat. At this point, I don't know about you guys, but I've been running on 4 to 5 hours of sleep a day since this started, and not by force, just by raw enthusiasm. It's like I'm missing meals and don't even care. Fine, right? I mean, this is the kind of, there's an old saying, make hay while the sun is shining, and the sun is shining. And one more point before we bring out our next contestant on our game show today, Mr. Case. One more point is that sometimes timing beats talent. So you were talking about, Kelly, we're all going to acknowledge ourselves for being online gurus or something. Well, you know what? It's about the offer. In fact, I remember Dan Kennedy saying that, the great, direct response advertising guru Dan Kennedy. It's about the offer, stupid, right? That's what he said. And so here we just have something so irresistible for the customers, right? Free money. I mean, it sounds a little weird to say that, but sign up for free and start getting cash back on things you're already buying anyway. Don't change your buying habits. Don't take any money out of your pocket. Yes, you can upgrade and get even more cash back, but here, take 10 seconds out of your life, sign up, and load up the toolbar, and you're good to go. We're going to give you money, right? Think about that offer. That is so, I mean, who could say no to that, right? I don't know, right? It's free money. And then here on the business side, how many people are just looking for training that works, right? To be a part of something where you're going to learn from the best in a variety of disciplines. Here's Matt with search engine optimization, right? Here's Kelly, and he knows about corporate stuff, and also he's run companies. He's built online sales funnels, et cetera, et cetera. Here's me, right? Who I'm known for running my mouth and having some sort of an effect on the audience. So we've got lots of different kinds of talent. You get to participate in all of that. You don't have to master any of it, but find your piece of that you'd like to participate with, and then get the whole collective effort of the group through these rotators and stuff that are coming together. So amazing, irresistible opportunity for anyone with an entrepreneurial brain, or on the other side of the fence, anyone with a consumer brain, right? Which we do that too. I spend money online, I get cash back now. So dangerously close to perfect. Let's bring out Mr. Chattanooga, Tennessee himself, Mr. Jonathan Case. You just hit the sales director rank like a few hours ago. Okay, yes, now you and I have known each other on and off a little bit. I've seen some of your work online. You're great with videos and things like that. Why are you here with Wukar, and how did you do this sales director thing before we've even launched any of these funnels or things that we're talking about upcoming for October?
I got to tell you, I only looked at it in the first place because of you, because I've spent time with Tony, and Tony's a big fan of you, and so I'm like, whatever John's doing, I want to look at it. But then I saw the hangout, and I saw everything that's coming to the table, and I mean, I flipped out like everybody else. I tried to do I want to focus on what I'm doing thing, and it took a little bit of do you really see what's going on here from John, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And it didn't take long after that something happened that's never happened before. I've been in the industry for a few years, and I'm genuinely emotional about what's going on here for several reasons. Some of you guys can talk about the semantics, what's up for grabs, what's on the table. I mean, John's covered most of it already, but we have all dealt with non-duplication. I don't know if that's a word. I may be making stuff up, but people in your team not being able to make money, right? And for all kinds of reasons, and the roadblocks are all the things they have to learn, have to be a superstar, and we've constantly been on the lookout for some way to solve the problems where people with some drive can make some money, but they maybe you don't have to know how to do everything, and that's happening here. We are marketing the power of some really, really strong people, starting with Matt Trainer. We're excited about what he brings to the table. It is the talk of the town. Because of that, and because it drives a raw emotion, and there's a buzz that's creating, or that's causing all leaders in the industry that have any gray matter in their head just to dive right in. Because that's happening, I'm able to honestly look at the people that have said, no, I'm busy, when I contact them, and I'm not taking no for an answer. because I'm not building a business for me. I don't need you to get in here for me. I need you to get in here for you. And that's what I'm telling them. I've beat a couple people's door down on Facebook, you know, virtually. You are going to listen to me, and I'm not taking no for an answer. Because we're friends, you're at least going to call me on the phone and be educated about what's happening. And almost 100% of the time, they watch what we're doing and go, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it took 2 weeks for me to even look at you. Wow, where do I sign? And then they get in and they go, I'm just amazed, and I can't believe that it took you this long. And I'm like, well, I've been saying hey, and I mean, it's that big a deal. A lot of people are talking about how it works. That's what I'm doing to get here, because let me tell you, I have 0 list. And in case you didn't hear the number, it's 0 list. And I didn't have a team to bring over either. I have some people whose lives I want to make a difference in, and I went and got them, and they're here. And they're going to be sales directors by November, and I'll be riding the VP train, because it's an offer that you can't refuse. The only people that say no are the ones that don't see it. It's amazing. John, I'll turn it back to you, bud.
Man, hey, you know what, Jonathan? Let me ask you: Are you car shopping now or something? What?
No, it's movie night. My kids are in the restaurant right over there, our favorite Italian restaurant, and I came out here to talk to you guys because it is that important to me, especially if my team is watching. You guys don't take no for an answer. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm in the parking lot, and I'm about to walk back in there and listen to the rest of you.
You're having a delayed Italian food experience.
That's right.
Well, you know, we must rank pretty high.
Right. Well, I'm going to take you inside and mute out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that. Hey, Jonathan, thank you. And you know what? By the way, I remember when Jonathan first said, "Yeah, you know what? I got to do this." I think you said, Jonathan, word for word, "I don't have a chicken list." Was that you who said that to me?
No, I said it's worth going to your chicken list when I finally saw what was going on. I'm like, I'm not scared to talk to anybody, and I'm not going to name the names that I actually talked to, but wow, it's that big of a deal.
Right. I remember you talking something about that, because you didn't have a whole lot of traction with online marketing. I know you've done some good work with videos and stuff like that. But I recall you talking about like busting through any what people, like so-called normal people, would consider a chicken list. Oh, I couldn't talk to that person. I mean, they're so big and powerful, and none of that mattered for you. You're calling like celebrities and stuff. And so anyway, thank you, Jonathan, for your input. I see that we also have the mighty Jason Cardamone, Mr. Enthusiasm. We're going to get to you here in just a moment, Jason, but before we do that, I got a guy I just met today. Went sales director in 14 days, which is exactly the amount of time that I did it in. And I have no idea who this guy is. I just met today. We had maybe a 4-minute conversation over Skype just to make sure he's a real person, because, hey, you never know with these online marketing things, right? I don't know if he's a real person. But sure enough, he is. Gerald, hello, sir. And you're from
St. Louis, Missouri, John.
Yeah, St. Louis. So tell us, how did you show up here? You're here like we were getting on planes for Dubai, and you were signing the distributor application, right? So you're here like 2 weeks and a couple of days. What's happening? Tell us. What's going on with you?
I mean, this thing's explosive. There really are no words for it. When my sponsor brought this to me, I mean, I was in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, with some other business partners, and at a hotel. It was probably 3 a.m. in the morning, and he said, "Gerald, just look at this." And I spent the next 3 or 4 hours watching every hangout he sent me, trying to get a gist of what was going on. And after that, I couldn't sleep. Coffee didn't work. Nothing worked. I just kind of paced around waiting for 8 a.m. to go meet with them and then explain to them what was going on. I mean, this thing it's explosive. I've never seen anything like this, and I come from a background. I've been in internet marketing for the last 3 to 4 years. Some off and on experiences. I've been homeless, John. I've been through the ringer. I mean, it's amazing, like what this is gonna do. What has happened to me in the last year, the transformation I've had mentally. And this type of business, what it can offer and what it allows me to offer other people, it's ridiculous. I was talking to a few team members today, and some that aren't even in my direct line, just other members of Wukar, and just kind of going over some of the things I think would benefit everybody, and that is just hammer down. I mean, I love what Jonathan said about who cares if they say no. Keep asking until they say yes. I think that's brilliant. Just keep knocking on the door. Keep building this thing. I see, myself as $1 million earner. It hasn't even been a question. It's just been go, Gerald, just go. Get the Nikes on and start running. When I got into this thing, I wasn't sure how I was going to make it happen. It was just like, I got a little list. So do I hit my list? Do I call my friends on Facebook or in my phone? What do I do? Where do I go? And honestly, I got on Facebook, did a few chats, hit my list a lot, and then it just happened. It just happened. And for anybody out there who thinks that, this is something that's far-fetched, or you don't have the skill set, or everyone's going to tell you no, that's fine. Let them tell you no, and then ask them again. Just wait an hour and ask them again. They're going to get in. I mean, this thing is that powerful when they know what is going on with this, how powerful it is. And the good thing about it is that there is a consumer side, which is unlike anything I've ever seen. That is huge, and that's what's going to build this so quickly. I discussed with a few members today what Matt is releasing. We were kind of going back and forth about how great it's going to be and how beneficial. And John, one of the things I said was, that's great, but you need to build this like Matt doesn't exist. You're part of Wukar, and Matt's there. But if you build this like Matt doesn't exist, when Matt brings on the heat and we start getting involved in what he has, just imagine your business tripling or quadrupling because of the effort you're putting in, the drive, the passion, the desire to want this so bad. You need to sleep this business, when you need to eat and breathe it, and that's what I did, John. And I'm not stopping down. In fact, my goal is to catch you guys really fast. So that's my biggest goal.
Well, you have caught, right? I mean, at this point, we're the same rank, at least for a few more minutes. I'm this close to vice president.
Yeah.
So here comes vice president. So, which, by the way, if you're brand new, vice president is the second highest rank in the whole company. You get the lot on Grand Cayman and everything. And then, of course, once you're senior vice president, they build you the house on the lot, right? Free and clear, done. So, but Gerald, you mentioned you were homeless. Right,
Mm-hmm.
so is that like a recent thing, or what?
This was
led up to this?
This was a little bit off and on. Actually, it was off and on within the last 4 to 5 years, as I lost my real estate business and living with friends. Family was there, but not there. Stay with my sister every once in a while. A friend of mine who owns a bell-buy industry, in my car, by his leg. And my mentor would tell you this, they actually called me the homeless man van guy or something like that. And, it was motivation. I sit in my car and I would work on my laptop from my car. And the one thing I always made sure I did was I never quit. Like I told myself one more night, every night. That's how I had to do it, every single night, day by day, one more night, one more night, one more night. And even when staying with friends, one more night, staying with my sister, one more night. Well, just kept on pushing myself, John, until I got my place. And the coolest thing about what I do now is I have a 9-year-old daughter. I don't know if anyone knows, but that's my world and that's my why. And the biggest reason why I believe that the only way you're going to fail is if you quit. If you have a why like that, something so precious and something that is just pure like that, and what my daughter is, no one can stop me. I mean, if the president came and said, you can't do it anymore, he's still not going to stop me because that's my why. I'm pushing for her success and my success. And what I tell a lot of my team members, and even the folks that aren't on my team, and I have a lot of prospects coming at me with this, and what I tell them is, you're in business for yourself, but you're never by yourself. What is your why? And I always ask them that question. What's driving you? Because when I had no one to say, Gerald, you can do it, the only person I had there was the one I didn't see much, was my daughter. So I'd take her picture out of my wallet and I'd say, you know what? I know what you're thinking. And I go to work. And that's how you do it. You got to push yourself. You want this, you got to push yourself, John. So that's what I did. And now I'm really pushing myself to get to millionaire status, and it's not just a financial thing, because I'm not doing bad. It's that I want to really see if I can make my whole entire team, if I can really push them to SD, and it's not going to require just pushing. It's going to require effort on their part. You know, a friend of mine told me yesterday, the only time success comes before work is in the dictionary, you know, and that's very true. You've got to want this. You have to work it. Do not depend on Matt. If you have a why, I guarantee if you use it, use that why to motivate you and push you, you're gonna be right where I am, and then you're gonna go past that. Well, I'm gonna go past as well, but we'll meet up top. We'll meet up top.
That's beautiful. So you've got a very real motivation, right? And I think that's well, it's certainly something I've talked about in seminars and books that I've written. Is people will take the action. They'll make the decisions and take the action to the extent that they believe that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that there's a payoff, right? And that's where our motivation comes from, is a good dose of self-belief that you know, if we do, in fact, you know, jump out of our comfort zone, is basically what you're talking about, and kind of like what Jonathan was talking about as well, that there's rewards there that are worth it, that are worth, you know, learn some new skills, right? Getting uncomfortable, you know, lose a couple hours of sleep, whatever you got to do for that big reward. And in your case, you mentioned your daughter and having been homeless and all this. That's very, very real and very motivating. I mean, when I hear it. The other thing I'll say before we bring out Jason is, you know, if you're hitting your list hard, or if, you know, maybe you don't have a list, like Jonathan was saying, he's just grabbing a phone and doing whatever it takes. But in the case where somebody may not know, like what we know, right, and you may need to enlighten them a little bit, and it may, you know, not happen on the very first touch. Okay, but what do you do? I'll tell you right now, here I am, I'm 6 weeks into this, right? I've had virtually everybody say yes. Anyone who wasn't like yes on the business was like, great, here's a free customer account, right? Go be a customer. That's fine. Sign up for free. Here's a voucher or something. Go get cash back, right? Fine. You want to be a consumer? Be a consumer. I make money anyway. So literally nobody says no, right? I mean, that's the way I look at it. Now, I'm at the point now, and I'll mention this and then we'll move on. I'm at the point now where I received an email, let's say a month ago, from someone who was skeptical, right? So one of those, right? And I'm an analytical, skeptical guy, okay? But I do look for you know, reality, not just I heard somebody else who heard somebody else who said something, right? Because, you know, anything that's successful is going to have critics, right? That's just the way it is. I remember seeing History of the World Part 1 with Mel Brooks, where the caveman did the first painting on the wall of the cave, and then here came the first critic, and he peed on it, right? So wherever there's a performer, there's a critic. So we got a lot of performers here, so we're going to attract critics. That's fine. But I had a critic email me a month ago who I just saw hit my sales register last night. What's that about, right? So I guess it's I guess people are getting the message. So bravo, right? There we go. Give people a gift. That's my take on all this. You're giving people an enormous advantage being a part of Wukar and this whole thing that we're putting together. So let's go on to probably the most enthusiastic guy. In case you haven't seen any enthusiasm on the broadcast yet today, we'll have someone who will correct our error right now. Mr. Jason Cardamone, sir. Hello, sir.
What's up, John?
What's up?
So do you just want me to just like fireball tear this thing up, or do you want to?
I don't know. This is week in review, right? I mean, we're kicking so much ass. It's ridiculous. I've never. Have you ever seen anything like this?
I've never dreamed of anything like this. I remember seeing guys on stage talking about going from 0 to 30,000 per month in 90 days and setting an intention and hitting that, and I was like, yeah, but they're like Superman or Superwoman or whoever, and it's very rare for stories like that. And I look at what's happened in the last 8 weeks, and that guy is me, and I did more than that, and I'm doing 5 figures a week, and it's beyond anything I ever dreamed I could ever do. I used to have, so all my limiting beliefs have been completely blown out of the roof, completely changed, and what's really magical is I look around, I see an all of Wukar, I see people I've known for years that have never even, I look down, they're going team coordinator. They're approaching sales director, complete newbies. They don't even know what network marketing is, or they don't know what internet marketing is. And it's amazing. I haven't approached friends and family for 7.5 years, because I did that 8.5 years ago for about 6 months. And I was like, I brought in a bunch of people and nobody did anything. It's my fault. I always take responsibility. I was a horrible leader back then. I was all excited about, oh, dude, you get in 5 people, they get 5, everybody's going to get rich, it's awesome. And I actually believe that. Well, it's a little bit different here, but it's the old pipe dream, I thought, and that really like changed my spirit. And so what I did was kind of like retreated, figured out why did I get in this. I'd read a book, Robert Allen, Multiple Streams of Income. He taught about how to attract people in using the power of the internet. So I was like, that's what I wanted to do in the first place in 2006. So I did that, and I've been doing that for 8.5 years. Built big teams, gigantic teams. And I've always been about like duplication, focusing on the team. I've never had it explode like this ever. And I'm damn good at duplicating. It's one of my specialties. We're not even getting started. And my team, I go to Dubai for like 8 days, miss a plane, everything's late, all this stuff. I get back, and the team's going faster without me. So I'm just like, hey, guys, I'm just going to check out. You guys are obviously better off without me. I'm out of here. That's not even the week. How long have we been back from Dubai? I literally don't even know what's been happening.
I think we landed a week ago in America. I don't know. You and I were actually on a plane to Denver, and I had to jump over to Salt Lake, but maybe a week.
I literally don't know if that was 1 or 2 weeks ago. I have no sense of time over the last 8 weeks. There's so many people. I just looked down and I see Kelly Williams sitting there. I'm talking to Kelly, I don't know how long ago, because it's a time warp, and he's talking about how he's been up all night long watching videos, and he has this fire in his belly. So I call him Fire in the Belly Kelly now. He just got this fire, and his wife sees it in him. She's like, you look like something, you got woken up, what's going on? And he'd been up all night watching videos, and that's happening everywhere around us. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I don't even care about sleep. It doesn't matter, but I feel better than I've ever felt. It's not like I'm like dragging. I'm like, oh God, I'm so tired, and like sleep doesn't even. I remember hearing about Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins has some different people that they sleep like 4 to 5 hours a night for decades, and I remember seeing that, and I was like, no way, dude. Like, how can you do that and still maintain health, never get sick for like 20 plus years? You look on stage, have more energy than anybody I'd known, and I found that really hard to believe. But I look at the last 8 weeks of my life, I slept way less. I have this thing called rescue time on my computer. For the first few weeks, I haven't even checked it lately, it was tracking me at about 130 hours per week between the phone and the computer, and that doesn't include showering, eating, working out, anything I would do outside the phone or phone calls and everything else. And so I started working the numbers backwards. There's only 168 hours in a week. 130 are being put into building the business. Doesn't include all my family time, which has been the highest quality. The quantity, I'll be honest, guys, I'm working my butt off, but it's not work. Do all that because this is my purpose, is to serve people and help people and bless other people, because the first time in my life I'm not worried about, oh, do we have money in the bank account? I'm not even worried about money for the rest of the year. Literally for the first time in my life, I don't even care about our bank account for the next for the next lifetime, but specifically I'm looking at things for this last quarter here, this big push for November 1st, and I don't even care about that, which is such a relief, because now I can actually focus where it's always mattered: people, the team. Wukar, how do I help break more sales directors? Matt set a goal to break like 50. How do we break 100? How do we break 200? How do we put out the training, the motivation, the inspiration? How do we get people pumped up? How do we like get inside their hearts? How do we help them see that 8 weeks ago I was like, dude, I don't know about this. It seems pretty cool. I'm excited, but like, I'm not sure about this, I'm not sure about that. All those barriers I broke through, that Jonathan, that John, that every person on here has broke through. I'm talking to people today that like they've been here, watch all the barriers they overcome. How do we get people to just compress time and break through all those barriers in like a week, in a day, in an hour? And that has nothing to do with the last week of my life, but it has everything to do with the last week because it's just repeating. It's like Groundhog Day, except instead of a nightmare, it's like the perfect day every day. So, I don't even know what's happened in the last week, John. I don't even know what day it is, except I looked down at my computer. It says it's a Friday. I don't know what that means, but we're here.
Yeah, this is great. You know what? Kelly's experimenting with this software that we're using, this Google Hangout software right now, and he just took a shot. I don't know if you guys can see, if you could see this. Let me see if I can bring this up. This is funny. He captured the perfect Zoolander shot of you. You were like, right? I don't know if you can see that. We'll have to get that posted on Facebook or something. But it's Jason Cardamone doing Blue Steel from Zoolander. Look, guys, we're just having fun. I didn't realize the main topic of discussion today would be the reality of how little sleep you actually need when you're just so damn enthusiastic about something. But that's the case. I heard Donald Trump talk about sleeping 4 hours a day. I was like, this guy's full of it. No way. No way, right? You know what? Way. You know who else did that? Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison in New Jersey, right, when he was in his laboratory, he would sleep in a chair with a metal pan or a tray on his lap, and he would get a few hours, and when the tray hit the floor, it would wake him up, and he'd get back to work. So I don't know, maybe we're onto something here. I don't know, but
we need to get some metal trays, John.
Yeah, just sleep at your desk. Make sure you got a concrete floor, and then the tray hits the floor, you get back to work. So look, guys, Wukar, right? We're here. If you're brand new, get with your sales directors, your vice presidents, in your lineage. And at this point, it's growing so mad that I don't even know. Like I just met Gerald, who's in my lineage. I just met him today, right? A few hours ago. So that's how fast this is growing. Get the message out to anybody who could benefit from this. On the entrepreneurial side, get them in Wukar, get them in the network. You're going to be doing them a huge favor. Again, now time is on your side, okay? Right now, okay? And I'm not talking about later. I'm talking about now. Time is on your side. On the customer side, all the machinery is going in place. We're hitting the ground running in October, and just expect this to be everything that we're putting it together. It's just, this is the beginning. Let me just leave it with that. This is the beginning. You're hearing my voice now. That means you're a part of it. Okay? Time to make your mark. I don't care what you did or what your results were last week, 5 minutes ago. Who cares? We are Wukar. You are Wukar. Behave that way. Let people know. Okay? And we're gonna help a lot of people along the way. So clock's ticking. Let's wrap this baby up. Kelly, Jonathan, Gerald, thank you. Jason, thanks for participating as well. We see everybody next time. Jonathan, did you have a closing comment, sir?
No, sir. I wanted to say bye.
All right. Enjoy your Italiano food. We'll see everybody next time on another thrilling episode of the Wukar briefings or something. Have a great day, everyone.
Take care, guys.